Welcome back to another episode of She Does. Laura Moose here.
And Gina Joyce.
Today we're here with Rebecca Barrett,
Yay.
the mompreneur behind the Wilder Woodshop and now Cascade Vacation Rentals. Thank you, Rebecca, for being with us today.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're really good friends, so this is kind of just like another day of chatting and catching up. But do you want to tell viewers maybe who don't know you a bit about Wilder Woodshop and Cascade Vacation Rentals and kind of what you do with both?
Sure. So about 10 years ago, I started woodworking just casually. I actually just realized that I didn't know how to fix a lot of things, and there were a lot of things in my house that I wanted to build. And so I asked my carpenter husband to start teaching me how to use some power tools in our garage, and that led to us just like making cutting boards together for different like wedding gifts and birthdays and those kind of things. And over the years, that evolved to me starting my own business called the Wilder Woodshop, where I made like thousands upon thousands of cutting boards a year and sold them to customers.
Beautiful cutting boards.
Yeah, like really fancy cutting boards, not a lame piece of wood. So yeah, that's what I did. That's what the Wilder Woodshop was. Functional art used for entertaining and baking. And I also made other things like cribbage boards and ornaments and different wood knickknacks.
Cheese
Out
boards.
of my scrap boards. Yeah, the cheese slicer boards. Yeah. And then after doing that for about 5 years or so, in the background while I was doing woodworking, I have a degree in hospitality management. So I was doing revenue management for Cascade Vacation Rentals, just part-time, just to get out of the shop and do something that utilized my degree a little bit. So last year I was approached by Cascade Vacation Rentals to take on a larger role and become a co-owner. So this last winter I joined the ownership team there. And so now I am a co-owner of Cascade Vacation Rentals, which definitely came with a lot of change to my routine. And ultimately I don't do woodworking right now, which we can touch on later, but I'm working full-time at Cascade. And for those of you that don't know what Cascade Vacation Rentals is, it's a property management company that has a lot of arms. We do everything from set your rates and your minimum night stays all the way to all your handyman services at your properties. We remodel your bathrooms. We launder all of your bedding. We are your full-time housekeepers. And we also have a real estate arm of the business too. So it's definitely a busy job.
It's a big change. Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations.
Yes.
How has the transition been from being a business owner to now working for this much bigger business? It's a different type of business. How has that been for you in the last couple of months that you've been an owner?
Yeah, absolutely. So I went from, it was just me that worked at the Wilder Woodshop, although I started the Wilder Woodshop like collaborating with my husband as he showed me how to do things. I really was the sole owner for about 5 years, doing pretty much everything on my own. So the transition of being like, I'm doing everything by myself to now having 4 other owners that I work with on a daily basis and like a lot of staff members. That's definitely been a huge transition. And yeah, I'm still kind of transitioning into it, but sorry. It's been great.
Great.
Well, and like how it's totally different realms too, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Going from art to vacation rental management.
Yeah.
Do you miss the art piece of it sometimes?
Yeah, I do. I do miss that creative side of things. I do a lot of other creative things when I knew that I was going to be letting go of the Wilder Woodshop, at least for now. I picked up a lot of other creative hobbies like knitting and some more like outdoor recreation. And so I've been doing those things a lot more, which ultimately is better on my body anyways. Woodworking, I knew that was not going to be my forever career. I can feel parts of my wrists and body having a lot of pain after long days of work. So I knew that wasn't going to be a forever career anyways. And this has been a really good transition into something more like it'll get me to retirement.
Yeah. Important.
And
your knitting is phenomenal. We learned together, and you just skyrocketed. And I'm on like scarf number 2. But you could totally sell knitting your knitwear if you ever wanted to. I'm not just saying. But no, like for people who are wondering, because I'm sure you get asked, any thoughts on Wilder Woodshop? Like, will it do any pop-ups ever again, or TBD? And it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question. I also do not know the answer to that.
Fair.
I still like sometimes on weekends I'll bring my son into the shop and we'll do some like creative board making. A lot of it is just sitting there unfinished still because it takes us a lot longer over several weekends. I don't really know what the future will hold for that. I still have my shop at my house, my wood shop, and maybe one day I'll release a really cool batch of boards and I'll donate to some awesome charity. But for now, it's just kind of on hold for me to decide what I'm going to do next.
I love it.
That's nice.
So, Rebecca, you mentioned that you didn't used to know how to do woodworking. Tell us more. Well, I mean, we know, but tell the audience more about how it came to be that you started woodworking and started the entrepreneurial journey and what kind of led to that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Before I started the Wilder Woodshop, I had always worked in hospitality. So that was definitely a big pivot for me. After my son was born, he had a lot of complications at birth that we did not expect. He basically lost oxygen during the birth process and had multiple brain injuries that required a lot of intensive care after he was born. And we knew that, although he's doing great now, we knew that there would be a journey at some point that we'd have to go on with a lot of different specialists and doctors and those kind of things. So right from the get-go, we knew that, there might be a pivot coming. What that looked like, we didn't really know. So that first year that he was born, it was just adjusting to that. And that same year, my husband had a series of foot surgeries that left him not non-weight bearing for a whole year. So he wasn't able to walk, and he's a carpenter. So we weren't able to live in our home because all of the bedrooms were upstairs. So not only were we crippled with medical debt, my husband was unable to work, and we had to leave our home in order to pay for all the medical bills and also to have a place that we could all function in. So we luckily had some really great family that let us stay at their homes throughout the year. And then COVID hit, and I lost my job, which was working remotely. And we all kind of just had to start over. So that's when we actually moved to the North Shore. And I had a variety of housekeeping jobs all at the same time that I did. And one day I was just like, there's got to be a different way to like have a good life. And so that's when I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this woodworking skill and make it something that I can make a paycheck with. And so that's when I didn't start full time right away. I still had my 3 other jobs. And then at nighttime after my son went to bed, I would woodwork, and I started selling. My first client was one of my friends, Chris Homiak at Clearview General Store, and he said, I really like your woodwork. Let me start selling it. I'll give you whatever you need to make on each board. But I think this would be a really cool thing to have here. So I really give him so much credit for really giving me the push I needed. And that started my wholesaling, which took off from there. And I sold to about 10 different stores on the North Shore only for the last 5 years of doing the woodworking business, and made a great paycheck doing that, and it allowed me maximum flexibility with my schedule, so I could still take my son to all of his doctor's appointments and OT and all of the stuff that came along with that, because it was like a second full-time job doing that for a while as he was starting school age. So that was the main reason for that that career shift that started. And this Cascade Vacation Rentals offer really came at the most perfect time. My son is doing great these days. He's in normal school and he has way less doctor's appointments. And so I am able to kind of like restart my life a little bit and be like, let go of that a bit and go dive back into the more corporate world, non-corporate world, but still. Yeah.
No, and I think it's so beautiful. So your son's name is Wilder, hence Wilder Woodshop, and he's such a sweetie. He's the best. And you also were doing like certain donation-based work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Which I thought was so beautiful. Do you want to share a little about that?
I would love to.
Yeah.
And this is something that I do hope if I ever would work again, I absolutely would start this back up. So my son was born in March. And so every March after he was born, starting on year 1, I would create a really special series or collection of cutting boards that were different than all my other ones. They would have a theme, like maybe outdoor themed or Grandma Ray themed or something like that. And I would donate a portion of all those boards that were sold in the month of March to the Masonic NICU, which is where my son was. And over the 5 years that I donated back, I donated well over $5,000 to Masonic, which is
it's amazing,
massive, and
it's amazing,
so cool. Like they deserve it.
So inspiring.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
So one of the things that I wanted to touch base was on something that you have shared with us. First of all, I think that we have learned a lot of things from you. One of the things that I have learned from you that I'm trying to just include in my weekly, routine or habits with the kids, especially in the area that we live, is the quote that you had was, "The outdoors is a religion," and I am learning myself as a business and as a mom that you have to make time to spend and take advantage of the beautiful landscape that we have here, and teach our children also to, appreciate the little things and, where we live. And I wanted you to explain a little bit more about it, because I feel like that is a piece of wisdom that touched me, and I feel like other women who are either in business or who are just listening to this and live, in very small areas like we do, could probably learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really important for my little family to get out in the outdoors. We do tons of Boundary Waters trips and camping trips. Last summer, between May and November, we spent about 20 days total in the Boundary Waters. So that's no cell phone service, no nothing. You carry everything in, and that is pretty inspiring. So we were actually, I think, at a retreat together, Laura, a couple years ago, maybe.
Oh, yes.
And everyone was talking about things that inspire them, and a lot of people were recalling, like, oh, my faith really inspires me, or I'm inspired when I go to church or surrounded by certain people. And for me personally, I am not religious, but I find I can feel this deeper power when I'm out in nature, and that is where I get uplifted by being out in nature. And that's, kind of my religion, like Laura said. It's just being outdoors, and something about that just, brightens my day. And it's pretty great to just be tuned out from the whole world for a while and be surrounded by just trees and water.
Yeah, it makes you... I'm trying to do that myself. So for me, it's like it forces me to be present in the moment.
Absolutely.
And be thankful to be where we are at. And something that I'm curious about, because this is another thing that I've also being like, oh, Rebecca inspires me, and this as well, is like making time for yourself during the day. Like I used to be, before I met you, I used to be like, oh, the priority is the children and the husband and the house and everything before me. And then I remember you saying I have 20 minutes to go running, and I was like, okay, good for you. And then once I started doing that,
but you prioritized that.
Oh, I get it now. This is good. You're doing something for you, not for others. You're not putting others before you. And so that's something that I I liked. So I would like to know what is like how did a day in your life look like when you were when you had the Wilder Woodshop?
Yeah.
How does it look like now that you have office hours? Like, what is the one thing that you do? And I mean, I also like that you touch base on like knitting and like having other creative outlets now that you cannot do carpentry anymore.
Yeah.
But I also have to say that you're really good at everything that you do.
No.
Fact.
And yes, and like
You just made sushi the other day, and I felt like I was at a sushi restaurant, which we don't have here.
Right?
So now I'm gonna be like, Rebecca, can we do more sushi?
like she makes these amazing things, like not just the sushi, but the sourdough and the kneading and the cutting boards.
I have a lot of old lady habits.
I love them all.
And it's like, how do you have the time to do it all and do it so well? So I'm like, gosh, she's so good. And I like saying this and tease Gina with this. I'm like, these are my two type A friends that will always find a way to do things. And also, by the way, I am not a type A person. Our kids go to school together, and sometimes Rebecca is like, Laura, it's pajama day today, by the way. Thank you, because I forgot about it. So yeah, she's a really good friend of mine, and I'm so glad. But anyways, going back to how did a day look like when you were you're the business owner of Wilder Woodshop, and how does it look like now?
Yeah, well, it definitely didn't always look like it does now or like it did a year ago. I did not take time for myself 5 years ago. Like I said, I had multiple jobs and I just was working constantly, and that totally wore me down. And so when I turned 33, I made a New Year's resolution that I was going to take a minimum of 20 minutes a day. That I had to make time for it every single day, and I was going to do something for myself. And that allowed me multiple things. It allowed me to actually exercise a little bit, because I just started going for a walk or going for a run. And I realized, oh wow, I really need this clarity break. I was able to just put pieces together in my mind, or contemplate things that I just simply didn't have time to think about during other parts of my day. So that was super helpful. And that 20 minutes evolved to an hour, and I still really strive for 1 hour a day, stop what I'm doing and do something that I want, whether it's going to the gym or just reading a book or just sitting on my couch doing nothing. And I learned that it's okay that your house is not clean if you have a clear mind. That's totally fine. You will be fine. Too. You are going to get so much more out of having a clear mind than a clean house.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes.
So yeah, I still do that, and I make time for an hour, even if it's not a consecutive hour. Waking up 30 minutes early, staying up 30 minutes later. It's totally worth it. Highly suggest.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that too.
Yeah.
So, another question. You're obviously doing the podcast, and you're in the book. She does Words of Wisdom from North Shore Mompreneurs. If a woman reads your words from the book, and at 2 a.m., a lot of us do, you just wake up and your mind's racing and you're doubting yourself. What do you want her to feel or take away from your piece of the book?
Yeah, I would say don't ever feel like you have to be tied down to one job or something that's happened in your life. You have options. You are so capable. Even if I don't know you, I know that you're capable.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And so be
She
creative.
does.
Yeah, she does. Be creative, make lists and ideate, and take some time to yourself and allow yourself to think. And like I just said, have a clear mind, and you will find the solution. I did it, and now I'm pivoting again. So it's absolutely possible. That's
sweet.
Believe in yourself.
That's amazing. That's why we did She Does.
So we are so lucky to have this community. I truly enjoy having my group of friends, creative friends, business friends. We are really fortunate to be here.
Amazing ladies.
I know. It's so empowering and inspiring, and it honestly fills our cup. I wanted to ask you, I'm sure there are women out there that haven't found this sense of community yet. What piece of advice would you give to them in order to have what we have?
Yeah. Well, when we moved up here, I still had some friends from when I lived here a decade ago. So I was very lucky to like have some friends already, but I have made so many more friends since moving up just through the arts, and the connection of like the clients that I met through Wilder Woodshop, just like coming to buy my work through Art Along the Lake or other different activities, the school.
Yeah.
Like Laura said, like we have kids that are the same age, and same with Gina, and just all the activities. But most of all, the community up here is so strong, and even if you don't have kids or you didn't know anyone when you moved up here, like there are so many community, like I guess not outreach programs, but how do I say that?
Like activities. Ways to get involved.
Ways to get involved that are going on. I serve on a number of boards in Cook County that I've met so many great friends through, and so many like-minded people. That's one of the really cool things about living up here is there's only 5,000 people, but there's 5,000 really like-minded people.
Well, there's really a lot of engagement.
People. Yeah.
Like we're both on the Art Along the Lake board.
Yeah.
and you're on the Cook County Higher Education board. Like,
Yes.
we just get involved. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think that's one of the ways, and then just reaching out to people too.
Yeah.
I remember she and we didn't really know each other, and our kids went to the same daycare, and then one day I was like, hey, hi, and then she found out that I was a photographer, so I reached out, and that's how we became friends. And I feel like when you're in a small area, just writing people and coming out of your comfort zone, because I know that it's not comfortable for everybody, you just gotta do it and create your own group.
I remember when I first came, I didn't really know many people, and so I started going to Dorothy's knitting circle.
Oh, there you go.
And I didn't know how to knit, but I crocheted, so I would just come, and I met a ton of people. And I think looking back, I didn't have much community in my former town, and I would say start a knitting circle or something that you can invite people to or go to
Go on walks,
just
with
connect.
people.
Yeah, coffee walks. Yeah.
Go just sit at Java Mo's. You'll meet half the town.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm sure you have a really good answer to this, and I really want to hear it. How has your definition of success changed from when you first started to now?
Yeah, that's a really good question. When I first started, I mean, really like all through my 20s and early 30s, I was like, I have to work super hard. Like the more time I'm physically working and dedicating to work, like that's how I am measuring how successful I am. But that's totally not true. Like I know that now. And so I guess measuring my success at this point is like, how am I impacting other people's lives? How am I impacting my family's life in positive ways, of course? And how do I feel? Like, am I happy? Yes. And that's when I know I'm on the right track.
Wow. That's
Happiness
beautiful.
is definitely success.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the answer of this, but I think we are all excited since you just transitioned into a new business. Is there anything exciting that you are looking forward to this year?
Yes. I am looking forward to summer finally.
It's been a long winter here.
It's been a long winter. I am excited. I cannot wait to get in a canoe again. That is what I am most looking forward to. Our first Boundary Water trip in June. Can't wait. Bring it on.
How many Boundary Water days do you have planned so far for the year?
This year is a little more relaxed. We have more like 15 days planned this summer. So
Wow.
Awesome.
it's still going to be great.
Every day is a good day in the Boundary Waters.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yay. Well, thank you so much. We're so glad. We love talking to you always. But thank you for being a part of the book and for being a part of the podcast.
Thank you both.
Yay. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of She Does the Podcast. Stay tuned for more next week.